MMA Oddsbreaker, I'm Frank Trigg. Today we got Rick Glenn on the other end of the line. He's fighting a World Series of Fighting 10 against Georgi Karakhanyan coming up. I did just notice something, Rick, as I'm looking at your record. You beat Arthur Rolfe back in September in World Series of Fighting 5. And I know you're a guy that likes to fight a lot more than what you've been fighting. So September to June, that's a real long layoff for you. How come such a long layoff?
Yeah, super long layoff. I usually fight, at least 3 times. I think there was a year I fought 5 or 6 times, and then more when I was amateur. But I just had some family issues go on back in December, I think it was. So we had to unfortunately pull out of the fight. And my sister has a brain cancer, and so a tumor in the brain and her spine. So she wasn't doing good, and we thought it was getting close, so we wanted to spend time with her while we could. But luckily, she's doing good, and hanging in there.
Well, I'm glad to hear your sister's doing a lot better now and still hanging on. I know for a while that it really was touch and go, and that's one of the things that a lot of people at home forget. They sit at home and they watch you on TV, and they see you just TKO Johnson, TKO Whitlock, KO Pimentel, decision Rolf. Like they just think, oh, he's you're Superman, you're inhuman. You don't have to worry about any of the other stuff that the rest of us have to worry about. But you have a regular life going on. You have family, and then obviously your sister is really sick right now, and trying to deal with
Oh yeah,
that. How hard is it, especially when you're trying to make a real tough decision? Am I going to fight? Am I not going to fight? Am I going to go through this? Am I not going to go through this? Like how hard is it walking into training camp, walking into a daily session to work out, still trying to make a decision as to whether or not you even be able to go through the fight. Now, mind you, I'm talking back in December. I'm not talking, I'm not talking for June. I'm talking back when they make that
yeah,
decision in December.
yeah. It was definitely the toughest decision in my fighting career, and but family comes first, and I had to remind myself that. And fortunately, I'm thankful they still gave me the opportunity for this fight. It's unfortunate, it happened, but yeah, definitely family comes first. And it was tough. I want to fight, and I don't like backing out of fights like that. So it was pretty tough on me.
Rick, you are super competitive, and you backing out of a fight is almost like you taking a loss. And I know how hard it is for you to have to do something like that, how big of a decision it was. But let's not forget too the financial statement that happens. Most people in regular 9 to 5 jobs, if they have a family member sick and they need to take some time off, the boss will give them some sick days, give them some vacation time. At least they can make a little bit of money while they're off taking care of their sister. You backed out of a fight. You
Yeah,
didn't make any money, so you were still on a famine. You still were starving, relatively
yeah,
speaking, trying to put things together, and then having to deal with touch and go with your sister. How hard is it now to recoup that money, because that's a lot of money you lost fighting on a fight night. That's a lot of money that you make, because for what your income is based on, because your income is based on wins and based on showing up to fight. So when you don't show up to fight and then you don't show up to win, it's difficult to make those ends meet. How hard was it to make that money up come January, February, and March?
yeah. Definitely tough. I work a part-time job at night, so luckily just we were able to stay afloat, and um, I do have a lot of support from my sponsors. But yeah, I'm definitely, I need this win. I need the money. So I'm gonna be fighting super hard.
So, are you going to? Did anything change in this train camp, determination wise, or mindset wise, about how you approach this fight because of missing that fight back in December?
Oh yeah, definitely. Everything's just up to 1,000 notches. Like my whole fighting career, I'm you know putting into this fight. This is my biggest fight I've ever had. Not putting pressure on myself. You know, this is the biggest one. So I got to
No,
get all my marbles together and go.
you're still training over at Rufus Sport in Wisconsin.
Yep, yep.
How big of a support group? Because I know, because I talked to Ben Askren quite a bit, and some of the other guys over there, and I know that for them, the Pettis brothers, that it's a big support group for them. Family's always first, and the team is part of the extended family. How much of a support was Rufus Sport for you as you went through that hard time with your sister and getting you back in the gym and getting you ready to go for the next fight?
Yeah, they're always a big support. You know, if anyone's injured or needs to work on something, that everyone's in there to help out and give you pointers. And actually, Ben is going to be in my corner for this fight.
Wow,
So he'll be there.
that's a huge step up, man. That's really big for. I know it's tough to try to put this stuff together and to have a situation where your extended family is just as big a support as your close family, especially in a training situation because they see you. You know, honestly, your training partners see you at your worst a lot more often than your regular family does. You can kind of isolate away from your parents and your siblings, but you know when a guy punches you in the head and takes you down gives you through a bad day, they see you at your worst a lot more than anybody else will, and it's tough to deal with.
Oh yeah.
And how is it? How was it for you? Because I know you're real close with your family. We've talked about this before, and you're real close with your teammates. But also too, you're having a hard time, and also you see when your teammates have a bad day or a hard time. Is it hard for you to step out of your bad day and go, hey, look, don't worry about it. You know, to be supportive for somebody else as well, even though you're having a bad day.
No, it's not. You know, and I've been doing some reading, and that's actually like to show true compassion is I think when you're having a bad day to be kind to someone else and help them out through their struggles, and we're all supportive of each other. Ben has actually went out of his way to corner me in this fight. He has a wrestling camp. What is it? That next day, the Sunday, so he's take a red eye back to Wisconsin here, and there's been other times where he's made trips just to go to my fights, or gone clear out of the way just to make it there.
Yeah, Ben, for as much flack as he gets for his mouth and for his actions outside of the cage, as far as trying to hype fights up and speak, people don't realize how much of a how big of a tender heart Ben Askren actually has. I mean, I've always been a big fan of Ben just because I went to school at a rival college of his, and so when he was competing in Missouri, I was watching him compete in Missouri because he was so good. So I got to watch this guy, grow up from a boy to a man all the way through. And then I kind of see it in his teammates now. I see it in you, and I see it in the Pettis brothers, and I see it in the rest of the group, like how he rubs off on everybody. And you can definitely tell that he puts himself out there for everybody that's on the team.
Oh yeah, definitely. We look up to him.
Rick, I want to appreciate you coming on here. I know you have a real busy schedule this morning, and I appreciate you coming on here. Especially, for me, it's early in the morning, and I know it's a little bit later for you, but I know that it was really tough for you to get on here because of your schedule. I appreciate you taking a couple minutes with me. Good luck in World Series of Fighting 10. It's I can't wait to see you fight again. I am a fan of yours as well as being a journalist trying to cover your fights. I love the way that you compete, and I love the way you fight, and I can't wait to see you and Georgi lock horns up here on on June 21st.
Nice, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time.
You got it, Rick. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care.